can. Put you in the sickle for the harvest is right. We ain't down for wickedness, false prophets a lie. Woman to the wicked grass of blind the sight. Unquenchable flame, stars fall in the night. Shemayim snapped the scroll, mountains fled in the anger. Hills a flock of rams skipping, special forces, recon angels. Really by no labels, we bout labor for the source. Wells up in infinite, waters coming forth. Spiritual revival, dehydration shall I pour. Kept the run down to the Mount cool floor. Kingdom heaven in me is parts of the morbid head. Treasure like deep in you, key to the never end. We all a ray, a fragment piece of the sea sledge. Point of a center, he segment filled in with ether. Hit me on and then you're passing the present teacher. Pre-sealed and covenant, Nehemiah, not Easter. We all a ray, a fragment piece of the sea sledge. Point of a center, he segment filled in with ether. Hit me on and then you're passing the present teacher. Pre-sealed and covenant, Nehemiah, not Easter. Not a game, stolen the soul arrangement. Adversary in the details, mirrors and smoking angels. Incriminating emails, fake news, read the paper. Pimping who been printing, it's all designed to take ya. Division in your cells, almighty sustain. Ain't got how relying on nothing else. In trouble, it's all vapor, elder wind in the sails. The water, the whole rainbow, reclamation, just a vessel, a wrestle. Jonah, you came for. Stay mind, woe with holy who. Lord, if they only knew how they controlling you, thought still a slave. Look how they holding you, enemy scoping you, word on the wing. Stay mind, dwell with holy who. Lord, if they only knew how they controlling you, thought still a slave. Look how they holding you, enemy scoping you, word on the wing. Force tremendous, Bill Adam breath, living dust, mushy for the enemy, burnt down like a Dutch. Once upon a distant, dirty sackcloth in the ashes. Truth don't grow with mischief, prayer get raised about the ashes. Save me from the mire, I would fell if not your pasture. Had you not an anchor, if you save me, I'll be thorn. Thorn to the thief, leech, mind to the corn. Stone in the sling, sing signs in the storm. Rock foundation, time echo with the north. Recon over game, wings fly with the force. All purpose type material to camouflage your course. Tiger stripe, orange, red drip from the source. We all array, your fragment piece of the sea sledge. Point of a center, he segment filled in with ether. He'll be on it then, you're passing the present teacher. Pre-sealed and covenant, Nehemiah, not Easter. Stay mind, dwell with holy who. Lord, if they only knew how they controlling you, thought still a slave. Look how they holding you, enemy scoping you, word on my word. Stay mind, dwell with holy who. Lord, if they only knew how they controlling you, thought still a slave. Look how they holding you, enemy scoping you, word on my wing.
All right, folks, same deal as the last couple of days. We're going to continue with the series, Karl, Lentz, Q&A, legal versus lawful. Slaves need this information now more than ever. And, you know, I could use a bit of a break and not be as animated or burdened or passionate or just engaged as I have been over 1,000 days straight. So we're killing two birds at one stone here, so to speak. All right, let's get to it. Let's continue on.
Well, that's what I you know, and the judge is like, hey, this is good. You start writing all this 3-page nonsense, man. The judge is like, oh no, I ain't doing this. No, I get paid enough to do this. This no, I ain't playing this game. This is bullshit. This is boring me to tears. I'm not doing this. Well, that's what I did. I realized that when I was reading these dictionaries, what I was running across was words that are spelt one way and then slightly spelt a different way, but they try to get you to believe that it means the same thing. And I'm like a simple word like a latch. You know, they put a latch on you, the statute of limitations, that they latch you. Now they forget to put the letter T in there. You know, but now when you hear the word latch, you feel that you're bound, you're a man, you're latched. You know, with LATCH. So when they do a latch in statute, it's like LACH. So you believe, because you heard the word latch, that you're limited or bound. But that's not latch. But you think it said latch because it looks like latch and it sounds like latch, and so you believe that you're bound. So it's all what you believe. You know, if you believe it, it's true. Yeah, I don't answer the code because, Judge, did you write the code? No. State prosecutor, did you write that code? No. Who wrote the code? Is that person who wrote the code present today? Is the person who wrote the contract present today? Because he's liable. Who's going to be held liable for this code if the code is an error? Well, I'm not going to be liable. I'm not going to be. Well, how can I answer to a code that you didn't write? You didn't write. You're going to try to guess what that code means? No. I need to know exactly what that code means. Who wrote this damn thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because the code is just a shrinking of the public law. The public law is huge. It's thousands of pages long. Somebody came along and codified it, and shrunk it, made it tiny, and said, you know what? This is what the public law reads. Instead of 5,000 pages of public law in the court today, okay, breaking and entering, Class B felony, and 5 to 10 years in prison. Okay, how about the law? What's the public law read? Oh, the public law is about 50 pages long. You don't want all that. Well, I thought you said I broke the law. Yeah, we'll bring the law into the court.
So is public law the common law, or is public law the statutory?
No, the public law could be. The public law is what your codes come from. Your Indiana Code 53535353. Okay. It's a public law. It's a public law. It's just like Obamacare. Obamacare is a law, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. It says it's public law. Okay, it's public law bill number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. It's a bill, and now it's public law. Okay, and the bill now has been signed by Congress. It's now public law. It's been enrolled. It's now sitting in the Library of Congress. It's 50,000 pages long, and guess what? The code's going to read: everybody must pay into Obamacare, or you get $5,000 fine. It's like, that's it? That's what Obamacare? Yeah, that's the code. That's all you need to worry about. Right now, that's the code. Are you in compliance with it? Yes and no. No, pay $5,000. Like, well, wait a second. Where's the public law? Where's the read that? Oh, do you really want us to roll out the public law, the 50,000 pages? Do you really want the law read into the court, into the record? Yeah, bring the law into the court. Like, oh, geez, really? Well, I'm not going to answer to the code because the code is just a joke. It's just like a sentence long. This is ridiculous. I want to know the actual law. Read the law. It's like, oh, they're going to be like, I'm not going to read the public law into the record. That's ridiculous. Just trust us, man. You did this. You didn't pay your Obamacare last year. It's $5,000 fine. Just pay the damn fine. Stop giving us a hard time. You know you broke the law. No, read the law into the court. And did you write this? No. Who signed this? I didn't sign it. You signed the law? No. You're going to have somebody come forward and swear that any of those signatures on there? No. Well, then what the hell? Signatory of that kind of public law? It's ridiculous how simple it is. It's just totally messed them up.
Once you go in their court and you traverse as a fiction, let's say you traverse as a defendant, then there's really nothing you can do to reverse that standing. In other words, you're the defendant no matter what.
Right. To me, the easiest way to do it is that you would have to try to put in that there was an error for you answering into the case to begin with, that you made a mistake for answering as the defendant because you did not have the capacity, or you were not the defendant. You just been made aware. Holy cow, I'm not the defendant. Holy cow, I'm sorry, I wasted this court's time, energy, and effort. Okay. That's what I said to the other guy when I wrote that apology letter, that he was apologizing like to the IRS and the U.S. Marshals Service. He said, what? He threw me in prison? No, dude, you threw you in prison.
Correct.
No, I didn't. Yes, you did. They've been dealing with you for like a year and a half, 2 years? Believe me, there's plenty of times, ample opportunity that you could have put before them that you are not who this person is, this fiction is, this character is, that. You had plenty of ample opportunity to clarify it to them, but you never did.
Is that an error, or is that actually an error, or is it what was the other word we were using?
I'm trying to remember exactly how I worded it from, but I said I'm trying to remember how I worded it exactly.
Is it an error or a wrong, or does it matter?
No, wrong is when you knew the right thing to do, but you intentionally went out to do what you knew was not right.
Right. So where an error is an honest mistake.
Yeah, it's just right. He was right. I'm trying to remember exactly what I wrote it for him. But I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can go find it real quick.
Okay.
I just had to put her. I made a chicken. I had to put it up so the cats don't get it. So let me see what up. But yeah, like I said, I remember what I said to him is that he's just became, like he's aware, that let me see if I can find it. I think it was called letter number 1. I think it was letter number 1. Oh man, like I said, he was not happy when I read that letter. Yeah, he was not happy.
The prosecutor, the judge, or who?
The guy that I wrote it. The guy I wrote it for. He was like, "Holy cow, man!" He's like, they put me in jail. They did this to me, and they put this.
Right.
They tortured me.
We all volunteer to go to prison.
Right. He said, "Oh, they did this. They did this." I said, "Dude, your name's the only name went out of order." So, yeah, right here. I'm trying to remember if this is exactly what it was. I said, on or about, July 3rd, 2013, I, the defendant, made a wish to possess, maintain, and request placement of an article known as a home monitor ankle bracelet to be bound to my person in concurrence with the go-between agents of the United States of America, said plaintiff. So what I was basically saying right there was just like, I, defendant, made a wish to maintain and possess an ankle bracelet, and I wished for it to be bound to my person, and we all agreed, the agents of the United States of America agreed on behalf of the plaintiff that I be bound so. And then I said upon said date, it's my belief that it would be of a benefit to I and my person if I were to claim a vested interest and or ownership of and or the stewardship of said article. So see, at that date, back on July 3rd, I thought it would have been a great benefit for me to be bound.
And you're acknowledging yourself as the defendant out of the gate there, right? You didn't know. In other words, you didn't begin the letter with I, a man.
No,
you said I, the defendant.
Right.
So you're recalling the past. You're basically just clarifying the past. The past.
Right. At one time, I believed I was a defendant. At one time, I thought it was a great benefit to be the defendant. At one time, I thought it was wonderful. At one time, this was the most lovely thing I could possibly imagine being called. And then I just said, at this present date, I claim to maintain constructive possession of said article. Constructive possession just means that I have possession. It's just like constructive trespass. It means that at one time I allowed you onto my property, but now it's constructive trespass. Yes, I invited you. Yes, you were my guest, but now you refuse to leave, so it's constructive trespass. Is it a trespass? Yeah, it's constructive type. I made a mistake, so it's a constructive possession.
Now, is that something that you would you initiate that by sending it directly to those men, or would you just want to go and make a claim in court?
No. You always give them notice, fair warning. You try to let them know that it was your mistake, dude. Make a claim against who? A claim against yourself? What, are you going to make a claim against the defendant? That sounds kind of silly. You got to understand that all the stuff that's going on in court, it's all because of you. Those people just show up 9 to 5, they're punching a clock and go hell home. They don't give a fuck if they get hired tomorrow by Dunkin' Donut. If they paid them twice the pay, they're going to manage Dunkin' Donuts across the street. They're just there for a check. They have no agenda there. They can pay. Believe me, if they weren't getting paid, they wouldn't show up.
Sure.
They're doing it for a paycheck. So like I just said, at this present date, I claim to maintain constructive possession of said article. A constructive possession is just like a constructive trespass. At one time, I allowed you on my property. Now, when I thought at 5 o'clock, you want to go to hell home. Not only did you not go home at 5 o'clock, you're still here. It's a week later. And that's basically what I said there. Not at one time that I believed that it was a constructive possession. At one time, I believed it was in my best interest to possess this thing. Not only do I believe it was stupid of me to possess this thing, now, this thing is like I said, a constructive trespass. Now I wish this thing to be gone, but it won't leave. Not only at one time that I thought this was a wonderful thing to possess a home ankle bracelet monitor, but now, hell, this thing won't get the hell off of me. So that's what I was just saying. Now I claim to maintain a constructive possession of said article, and I, as at this date, August 16th, in hindsight, believe I erred. There you go. That's the word I used. Erred. E-R-R-E-D. And I believe I erred back on July 3rd, 2013, for I believe I was in a state of disequilibrium, incapacitation to have made such a wish, for the go-between is to bind my person with said article. So today, August 19th, I wish for the immediate removal of said article from property and I. So there you go. So see, he made a wish for an immediate removal of said article from property and I. So not only does he want it removed from him as a man, but he wants it removed from his person in the two dimension. He wants it removed from his property, and he claims that he only has exclusive right to enjoy property, and I. When it's I, it's the man. So that's what he went. Then from this date after, whomever he or she saith said article is to remain about thy person, will be the causal agent of trespass to property and will be held liable for monetary compensation for damages. So I said from this day forward, August 19th, whoever comes and says that article is to remain on my person, on my property, will be the cause of trespass to I and my property and will be held liable for compensation. There you go. So that's how simple I made it. I mean, it's a lot nicer worded than that. And the punctuation, everything is fucking scary as shit. But believe me, man, when the attorney got that down there, man, they were pissed. But then, like, he really effed up by making a second letter that he decided to do on his own. On the second letter he decided to do on his own, he says, well, I want their names, I want their numbers, I want their badge numbers, I want their employee IDs, I want their addresses. And it's like, holy shit. Dude, the first letter said that you bear full liability for the defendant and all the acts that you did on behalf of the defendant. Now you're saying somebody else did all this. Which one is it, dude? Your first letter is completely backwards than your second letter. I said, why in the world did you put that out there? I said, I know why, because you're a vengeful person. You want to seek revenge on these people, and you want to sue them because you believe they've done you wrong, when the whole time it's you that's done wrong. He said, well, I know it's Susie and Bobby that did this to me, and little Timmy did this to me. He said, dude, what happened to this Susie, Timmy, and Bobby been reassigned since July? What happened if they're now working at Dunkin' Donuts because they got paid $1 million a year to manage Dunkin' Donuts? Bobby, Susie, and Billy did not do this to you, dude. Your name is the only one on that GPS unit order. I don't see anybody else's name on that order but yours. I said, read the damn order. It's the same thing with you with that task. Read the task agreement. I don't see anybody else's name on task other than yours saying that you'll appear. And you're the one who did not appear. And you're the man who said that I was going to be held liable for all the acts of the defendant. That's why you held in contempt. Because the defendant is a little incompetent 3-year-old. So somebody, daddy, is going to have to be held liable for the actions of the 3-year-old throwing a lock through the window. Daddy's the one going to jail for little 3-year-old throwing locks through the windows. Not the 3-year-old. You ain't going to hold a 3-year-old off the jail. That's ridiculous. You're not going to hold the defendant off the jail. You're going to hold a man off the jail. So that's why I kind of like how some of those people do when they go to court and they try to throw the old birth certificate up there. I said, there you go. There's the fiction there. There's the defendant. That's the best part of the defendant you're going to get. If you think I'm going to be held liable, you think I'm going to put my body up. Oh, no. I got this article called the birth certificate. I believe it's got just as whatever value that this court is seeking. I hope the court can get it out of this piece of paper because I'm not putting my body up for this. It's like setting a bondsman. A bondsman's like saying, I'm not going to go to, I'm not putting up my body for to bond this guy to jail. But what I will do, I'll put up a piece of paper. I'll pull up Federal Reserve notes, and I'll put them up for the release of this defendant. But is the bondsman actually going to put his body up? He's like, oh, no. But I'll put up notes. I'll put up IOUs. I'll put up security. I'll put up, security instruments. But is the bondsman, you go to Chico's bail bond, is Chico going to put up his body if the defendant, if the defendant doesn't show up? No, he's going to put up some sort of security instruments. So I think it's kind of funny when people go to court and they say, hey, well, this is a security instrument. This is a birth certificate. I hope you get some value out of this thing. I hope it's worth something to you. Is that going to cover the bond or to get this guy out, for the defendant to be released or the charges to be dismissed and dropped? It's pretty funny. If it's called a fish, I don't want you to hand me a turtle. If it's a turtle, I don't want you to hand me a shoe. If it's a shoe, I don't want you to hand me a baseball bat. You know, a shoe is a shoe, a fish is a fish, a bird is a bird. So if you say they try to hand it, say no, that's a citation. I want a claim. You know, it's like, what? I want a claim. I thought I was in here for a claim. I thought somebody was making a claim I did wrong. Is anybody claiming I do wrong or I did wrong? Do I do wrong or did I do wrong? Is anybody making a claim that I did wrong? And if they say yes, and I say, well, where does it say in court? What does it say in your code that it's wrong? See, in their code, they never use the word wrong. See, wrong is a common law term. Is a man could say another man has done him wrong, but the state government can't say a man has done wrong. That's ridiculous. The man has created the state government. How could the creature say that man? How could you say God did you wrong? Let's put it that way. How could you say God, you did me wrong? The God will just laugh at you. It's like, okay, Junior, go play. You know, go eat a lollipop. You know, go play. I'll let you know when I do wrong. You don't tell me I done wrong. I'll let you know. I created you, asshole. It's like you're saying to mom and dad, hey, mom, you did wrong. You think your mom's going to care? Like, yeah, so what? You think I give a rat's ass? You think I did wrong? Don't worry about it. I do what the hell I want. I make the rules, not here. So like I said, when they say, who's saying that I did wrong? Only another man can say that you did wrong. Especially if you don't have a driver's license, man. To me, you ain't got a driver's license. How could they hold you bound by the rules of the person? So it's like, look, I don't even got a driver's license. How can you hold me to those rules?
Yeah.
I must have a driver's license, or else what? You're going to take my driver's license away? I don't have one. How could you? What are you going to do to me? I don't have a driver's license. You know, so what are you going to do to me? So I travel without a driver's license, and so you're telling me a man can't go from point A to point B? You're like, watch this, Judge. And you just take a step to the left or the right. And I said, did I need a license to do that? You know, I went from point A to point B. I said, did that hurt anybody, Judge? No. Did me driving that car go from point A to point B, did that hurt anybody, Judge? And you'd be like, well, that's not the point. No, that is the point. Watch this, Judge, and then you move back to where you were. I just moved from point A to point B to point A. Did I cause any harm there? No. Anybody making a claim I done anything wrong? Well, no. Who's making a claim that me driving a car from point A to point B caused anybody harm? Well, you could harm somebody. Yeah, well, I could also blow my nose and have a heart attack and die, but, you know, who knows, man? Conjecture ain't a crime.
Yeah.
So you can't conjecture, man, that all black guys, man, you know, because only 99% of the bank robberies in this country are from 18 to 25-year-old black men. So, you know what? We can't let any 18 to 25-year-old black men in banks anymore because they commit 99% of the bank robberies. You can't just stop everybody. It's the same thing with having a driver's license. It's like, oh, you can't just, you know, what do you mean? You know, if I don't have a driver's license, I can get into an accident. So you're saying if I do have a license, I won't get into an accident? Yeah, that's a circular reason. That's a ridiculous logic, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
you know.
Yeah, when you're going in, you're just, I mean, can I speak to the judge on pretrial regarding these things, asking him about the...
You put it on paper and hand it to him. And you mail it to him 3-4 days so he knows that you're the smart ass that's going to be in front of him.
Oh,
you got to give him fair warning, man. You got to let him know. You got to put it in paper. You got to put it in writing.
Yeah.
And you got to put it into your case so he sees it. You believe me, that stuff that you write will be right on the top. So when he sees you, he says, "Oh yeah, I saw this funny shit. Yeah, you're a pretty funny kid." You know, so he'll appreciate it. Believe me, man, he'll appreciate it. And then don't say a damn thing. No, don't open your mouth, man. It's his court, man. It's their case against you. You don't say a damn thing. You let the paper do all the. He said, "Judge, I don't know." I said, Can you answer the paperwork that I put before the court? Who's going to answer what I put before the court? You see, because what you did is you presented your answer to the court. You say, okay, I believe, somebody wants me to answer to this, wrong. Believe me, I don't think what I did was wrong. Stuff like that. Just little simple things. Say, well, who's making a claim I did wrong? What did I do wrong? Say, are you saying, Hawaii Code 1234 that I did wrong? Well, No, that wouldn't be wrong. What I did was illegal. But like I said, when I say to people, if you listen to my shows, man, I'm telling you, sometimes it was illegal for people under 18 to drink. Then it was illegal for people under 21 to drink. And then it might go back to 18 to drink. Just because it's illegal to do something, that means today we feel like it. Oh, our feelings. Oh, we have feelings. We feel it's a bad thing to do. Well, I don't give a damn about your feelings. I don't give a damn what you think is illegal. You just let me know when I've done wrong. Because at one time we didn't need driver's licenses. Now we do. One day we might not need them again. You know, don't tell me what I did was illegal, because illegal is like saying feelings. Oh, I got my tender feelings hurt. Oh, fuck your feelings. I don't give a shit about what you fucking feel like. Did I hurt anybody? Yes or no? Well, you hurt my feelings. It's like, look, like your mom would tell you, look, I don't care if you hurt your feelings. You got any broken bones? No. You're bleeding? No. Go back outside and play. Oh, well, you know, she called me a name. Look, you got any broken bones? No. Any blood? No. Go out and play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're young enough to remember that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hear, like your mom would say, I don't want to hear it. I don't care what the fuck she did to you. Any broken bones? No. Any blood? No. I don't give a fuck what she did to you. Deal with it. You're a big boy. Go fucking deal with it. Oh, well, she bullied me. Oh, too fucking bad. You know? Any broken bones? No. Any blood? No. Deal with it. It's like the same thing with the judge. You're basically saying to the judge, any broken bones? No. Any blood? No. Then deal with it. I'm going from point A to point B. Deal with it. But like I said, you can't go in there with a total asshole attitude. You do it in writing. You put it before the judge. The judge gets a big laugh. Believe me, I've had judges say that shit to me. They said, man, I've been doing this since 1968. I ain't never seen nothing like this. This is funny as hell. You know, the judges get a kick out of it. So just try to entertain them, man. You know, try to make them laugh. Try to give them something that they use the same old bullshit every day. They do this for 20, 30 years. How would you like to sit in that stupid room for 20, 30 years hearing the same bullshit all the time? Oh, well, I forgot to get my driver's license. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I forgot. I don't know. Give them something funny. Give them something to remember you by. Say, oh, yeah, you fucking funny. I like you. You make me laugh.
Though it's too late for me to submit something, right? Because it's on Wednesday morning.
No, you got plenty of time, man. Just like I said, make sure, you know, you got a Sunday, Monday. Make sure you get in there Monday, man. You know, Tuesday at the latest. Because like I said, the judge, you know, like that one guy did, he was going to go to jail for like not paying child support for like 5 years. And I wrote him like 3 little silly fucking sentences, and the judge laughed his ass off, and he's not sitting in jail. Actually, they don't mind that he's only paying like $30 and $1 a day now, instead of paying like, you know, 10,000 or someone, whatever, how much money he owes or whatever. Who knows? How would let it go? You know, like I said, what you could do, like I said, if you believe that somebody's got a lien and they filed a lien on error on you, then you just require that you have a hearing. You say, hey, you know, make your resentment known to the court. And like I said, if anybody, especially if it's just another man or another woman like that, oh, that's sweet. Because like I said, all you got to do is you can say to them, look, at this time, the best I could do is pay, like I said, I did that with the guy in Indiana. If you listen to the show back in August, like the first week of August, the letter was very simple. It basically just said to the state of Indiana that all he had at this time was $30. I said to him, how much money do you have? Can you afford $1 a day? And he said, yes, I have $1 a day that I can afford. So then I just said to him, I said, great, we're going to write a letter to the state of Indiana, and we're just going to say to them, and this is exactly what the letter said, at this time, I, a man, Brian Bonner, do not have access to more than $30 per month. Is there anything else of value in which you will accept as payment to the debt, in which, 1, you claim is true, and 2, you believe that I owe to you, and that now that you are claiming is past due? So there you go. So right there, he says, the best I could do is $30 a month. And he owed tens of thousands, whatever it was, in back child support. And he was looking at 4.5 years in jail. He was going to be sentenced. So by throwing that letter into the court, he just says, look, I do not have access to more than $30 per month. That's all. That's all I got. Is there anything else of value in which you will accept as payment to a debt? So, see, he was acting honorably. So they had to accept it. You better believe the state of Indiana wants him to pay every damn dime and pay it now. They don't want to accept this silly $30
nonsense. And then, like I said, a lady who had a child, and their bills was in the tens of thousands of dollars with the hospital. They said she was saying how the hospital treated her like dirt every time they went to court. But when they presented a letter just like this, saying that most that she had at her disposal at the end of every month was $5. That's all she had was $5. She said when she put this note in before the court, and the hospital attorneys, when they got to court, she put this note in with the $5 thing, and she said the attorneys for the hospital treated her nice, the judge treated her nice. She said prior to that note, they said they always treated me like dirt. So, and that's what I'm trying to say. If anybody's making a claim that you owe them a debt, you tell them, honestly, this is all I can afford to pay you every month. All I can pay you is 30 cents. That's all I can pay you. You know what? Do you guys just want the problem to go away? There you go. Just say, look, the most I can do is $1 a month. The best I can do is $5 a month. The best I can do is $30 a month. If you just want the problem to go to hell away, and you just want to get on and do something else with your life instead of reading all this stuff, filing appeals, doing sui juris nonsense, reading all these stupid websites, just say, you know what? I don't care who comes to me. If I could say, I don't care. I don't care who comes to me. Say Betty Crocker comes to me and I say, or $10,000 for a cookbook. I was like, you know what, lady, Betty Crocker Corporation or whatever, you know what, I'm not going to go around with the argument in court. I'm going to send her this letter and say, look, the best I have is 10 cents a month to set off this debt. Is there anything else that you believe a value that you'll accept and which you claim is true and which you believe I now owe you and then you declare is post due? Is there anything else I can do for you, ma'am? And that's it. And I'm done. You know what? I'm going to take the 50-cent stamp, put a 10-cent check in the mail, and be done. And I'm going on my life. So I don't care who's making a claim I owe a debt. You know, I don't care how ridiculous. I don't care if they even got the wrong guy. I don't care. I'm just going to give them 10 cents and give them $1 and get them the hell off my back. You know, because like I said, man, especially like I said, you go to surgery, you deal like one of the animals I got to deal with. I could die at any moment, man. So why am I going to waste my time going to court, arguing with people, writing papers, doing all this nonsense, when I could just write 2-3 sentences and be done? Just like I'm sure that lady who's got that sickly daughter of hers, and she said, "Oh, I could pay the hospital $5." They're gonna garnish her paycheck. They were gonna lien her her home. They were gonna take all her possessions. They were gonna execute a warrant of debt on her. It was ridiculous. I said, "Lady, how about you just do a 2-3 sentence letter and we'd be done? Give them $5 a month and back them off. Would you be happy? No worry about garnishment. Nothing to worry about. Possessions in your home being taken out." Like I try to say to folks, doesn't that make you folks happy? Just say, look, I don't give a damn. Just give them a couple of dollars a month. I just make them go away. That's all I give a damn about. I don't have to win anything. It's like, to me, being left alone is a win. So it's like, you know what? I don't want to spend my whole life arguing with these people. Obviously, the kid got some, good medical care, and obviously this guy actually owes child support. And obviously the state of Indiana, paid money to his ex-wife and his kids. Well, 1 kid, 2 kids. I don't know how many kids he's got. But they paid him. Obviously, they paid money out to people of Indiana to help support his child and help support his ex-wife. I'm sure they were collecting some sort of state benefit. So now he's paying back $30 a month. Oh, damn, man. Most dads probably pay $30 a day to feed their kids or house their kids. So he's paying the state back $30 a month for the next 10,000 months. So what? So like I said, that's why, if you want to argue with them all the time, I couldn't care less. I was like, you know what? Like I said, you do the Gordon Hole thing, you conditionally accept their offer upon proof of claim, You can do that too. But like I said, if you just want to make it go away really super quick, just say, okay, you know what? Fine. You know what? It's like saying like a husband and wife arguing. You just say, you know what, honey? You're right. You're absolutely right. You know what? Everything you say, honey, you are right. You know what? Fine. Everything you say is right. You're absolutely right. You know what? Fine. Yeah, here's $1 a month for the next 10 million months. Have a nice life. I'm gone. But you know what? You're right. I'm out of here. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight. You know what? You're right. This make you happy. There's nothing they can do. You're done. So the attorney's going to have to say he has to come up with this belief system all of a sudden that attorneys don't have a belief system. Attorneys use precedent and case law. They say, the attorneys have to say, well, I don't believe this, but if you go back to the Scalia Court of 2006, the Scalia Court, or the Roberts, well, it's called the Roberts Court. The Roberts Court, ruled in this manner, and Scalia wrote the opinion for the court. So like I said, attorneys have to use what like somebody superior to them believes, or what somebody above them in their society established as the position of the Supreme Court. So when we establish our positions, we're supposed to be the representative of God. So when we utter something, it's supposed to be like God uttered something. So our belief outranks the lawyers, because they have to base it upon an opinion of a court. So they can maintain their position. We have a belief. They maintain positions because they're governed, and that's what govern means. To govern something means to maintain a position. To govern something, like a governor on a carburetor or a governor on a boat, it steers it. So they have to maintain a position, and the Supreme Court and the Roberts Court, maintains this position that you can't do this or you can't do that. It's like, well, that's just lovely that that's the position that the Supreme Court of the United States ruled, but that's also saying the Supreme Court of Mexico, or the Supreme Court of Paraguay, or the Supreme Court of Canada. Who cares? It's the Supreme Court of the United States government. It's the Supreme Court that makes a ruling between the president and the Congress. The Supreme Court is not supposed to make a ruling between me and Bob, because that's not within their jurisdiction. I'm not under the Supreme Court's control. I'm not under the rule of the Supreme Court. I'm a man. Bob's a man. If Bob's got a problem with me, we take it to a trial by jury. We go before 12 other, men and 12 other, other members of our society. We don't go to the Supreme Court. And like I say to folks all the time, even if you do go to the Supreme Court and you take all that stuff and you win, yay, you always see what the Supreme Court says. Now that we've ruled in this guy's behalf, it goes back to the court of the original jurisdiction, like a federal district court. And then the issue gets brought up in federal district court, and now the federal district court has got a good opinion on how he should rule this time. So when it goes back, the ruling comes back to the Supreme Court of Alabama. That's why John Wilkinson told me that. He said, you know what, you could get a ruling from the Supreme Court of Alabama. It could take you up to 12 years to get a ruling. And what's going to happen is going to go back to the court of original jurisdiction, family court. And the family court judge could tell you, oh, that's a lovely opinion that you got from the Alabama Supreme Court. But you know what? You could tell the Supreme Court to go F off, because this is my case. You're in my courthouse. You're in my jurisdiction. You're in my realm. And I'm telling you, F off. So you just wasted all your time winning an appeal. And that's exactly what the man who is the head clerk of the appeals court for Alabama said to me, and he's been doing it since 1975. He's a deacon of a church. He's the president of the Court Clerks of America Association, and he teaches this at a university down there, at a law university down in Alabama. So if he's telling me it's a sham, it's a joke, it's a total waste of your time and a waste of your money, I'm not going to argue with this man. This man's an expert. When somebody like a doctor tells me, hey, buddy, you got a ruptured diaphragm, and we got to go in there and web you up and put all your pieces back together again, I say, okay. And like I said, it was funny, the anesthesiologist knocked me out because I watched like a whole bunch of YouTube videos of what they want to do to me, and I was giving them advice on how they should patch me up, and they're like, that's enough of this guy. Knock him out. Man, they knocked me out with a shot. They didn't even wait to gas me, man. They knocked me out with a liquid tranquilizer. It was pretty funny. But it's like, that's enough of this guy's opinion on how we should do our job. We got this covered, buddy. And it's basically, like I said, what a district court judge will do, too. It's like, that's great. That's a great opinion from the Supreme Court of the state, the Supreme Court of the United States government. That's just lovely. That's a lovely freaking opinion. But you know what? I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. It's just like a trial by jury. The jury could say, well, that's a lovely code, and that's a lovely law that we have here in Alabama or Virginia. But you know what? We're going to do jury nullification. We're going to go off the board with this one, and we're going to do what we want to do. And nobody can stop us. And that's basically what the lower court judge could tell the Supreme Court. You say, well, that's a lovely opinion that you have, but you know what? I'm here for life. I got tenure. I'm not going nowhere. You can't strip me from this bench. I'm stuck. I'm in this position for the rest of my life. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. And I'm going to sit here, and I don't give a damn what somebody's ruling was. You know, if he's going to do, like I said, the old Ori tennis rule, he's going to be like, I'm witnessing the behavior of this man in this court, in open court. The Supreme Court is not here witnessing this man's behavior in open court. I see how this man is acting in open court, and I don't give a damn how good he sounds on paper. This guy's an asshole. There is no way in the world I'm going to let this guy do what he's doing. And he's like, well, somebody's got to stand up to the feds. I said, not like this. A man doesn't have to stand up to anybody or anything. A man makes his freaking claim, and somebody's got to counter his claim. And I'm telling you, the IRS is not going to appear.
That's right.
I said, dude, you're going at this all wrong. You're going to jail. Stop what this crazy wacko's telling you. He's trying to say, well, the Constitution says this and that. Really? You wrote the Constitution? You were there? You're going to bring somebody in open court under oath of affirmation who signed that document, created that document, to swear that that's what that document means? You're crazy. You know, so they were like, they were trying to mock me and make fun of me. And he was like, oh, dude. I'm telling you, man, if you listen to this guy, you are going to jail. I said, how many years are you looking at? 3 years. I said, you're going to get all 3. I said, you can't go into court and do what you're doing. I'm telling you, they're going to make an example out of you, doctor.
That's right. You better know how to operate properly. Or that's right, they will swallow you up, and especially if you don't know what you're doing. You're trying to play around. Oh, boy, will they ever make an example of you. But you start going in there as a man.
You're trying to whip in all this Constitution. Like I said to people, I did on Angela's show the other day, I said, look, I'm the dad. Could you imagine some little prick bastard of mine, you know, I don't know how many freaking kids I got, but say one of the kids I got come up to me and say, hey, Daddy, the Constitution says I can stay up past 9 o'clock. The Constitution says I got
Oh, God.
I went to my civics class today. My teacher says I have freedom of speech, so fuck you, old man.
Yeah, good luck.
I said, how far do you think that's going to go under my jurisdiction, under my authority, under my control? I said, that's the same. I said, why do you think it once a judge gets elected, like I say I run for being a judge, or Brian runs to be a judge, or you run to be a judge, and everybody in your community loves you, so they elect you as Mayor McCheese or Judge McCheese, whatever, of your little town. The judges only go to judging school for 3 freaking days. Because they basically just say, do you know how to be a mom? Do you know how to be a dad? Yeah. Well, those people in front of you, they're your children. If they mouth off to you, you know, put them in timeout.
Exactly.
They try to whip the Constitution out of you. What would you do if your child said the Constitution to you? You'd laugh at them. You'd say, yeah, okay, Junior. Yeah, okay, Junior. Well, what's the Constitution say now? Really? You got to have anybody come forth and testify in the oath of affirmation? That's a true document?
Yeah.
Well, no. Is anybody the signatories of any of that document? Are they going to appear? No. So that's very nice that you believe that that's what it reads. But you know what? You didn't create that damn thing. So who the hell are you to interpret it?
That's right.
And that's why I tell all these guys who are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old to talk on my show, call me up. As soon as they start whipping out citations, rulings, and precedent, I just start laughing at them. All constitutions, I laugh at them. Lawyers have to use this because lawyers aren't allowed to voice their opinions. They have to voice opinions of superior beings that came before them. The only superior being that came before me was God.
Right.
And that's all I got to do is convince another man or another woman, another God, that what I'm saying is true. I just got to convince the gods, the other man, the other woman that's in that building. Not the judge, not the prosecutor. Only a man I have to prove I am true to. I don't have to prove I'm true to a fiction.
That's right.
I'm like I said, it's like go ahead and argue with God and see how far that's going to get you.
Unless it's the pink polka dot God, right? All those adjectives.
That's what I did on one of my that's what I did on one of those videos that I did in videos, and I did in Indiana. I drew almost a pyramid. I cut the top off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I said, look, man's here, the judge is in the middle, plaintiff and defendants at the bottom. Man is superior to the judge because a man can act as a judge. A man can be a judge, but a judge can't be a man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. Like, can all men be a judge? Can be judges? Yes. Can all judges be a man? Well, no. A cat could judge something. A dog could judge whether or not they should cross the road. but a man is above the judge, and then the judge is above the defendant and the plaintiff. So the judge has control and status over a plaintiff and the defendant. I said, and then the space missing on the top is like you see in your dollar bill, you all-seeing eye. That's God. You know, that space is reserved for God. He has precedent over all of us. I said, but it's man, judge, defendant, plaintiff. So if you go into court and you respond to either the plaintiff or the defendant's role, the judge has jurisdiction over you. He's got control. Jurisdiction means control. There's control over you.
Yep.
Just like I'm a man, I got control over the judge.
And that's why
the judge, are you going to testify against me, Judge? You want to put your 2 cents in, Bob? It's like, oh, fuck no. I don't know you from a fucking can of paint.
That's right.
You know, like what's inside a can of paint? It's just a silver thing. I don't know what the hell's inside of it until you tell me what's inside of it. It could be any freaking thing. It could be anything inside of that can of paint. It might be paint. It might be BBs. Who knows? It's just, you know, I don't know you. You know, so you want to give your opinion now, Judge? Oh, hell no. And that's what I say to people all the time, man. Just put your paperwork in and let the paperwork talk for itself. Well, that's what's kind of funny is you guys start learning what the word property means.
Yeah,
it's proper to your person.
It does, right? It doesn't mean the ground that you walk upon. It doesn't mean the real estate. It doesn't mean the tangible asset. It doesn't mean something corporeal. You guys got to learn what property means.
Yeah,
it's only exclusive to you until know all this. What I explained to another man earlier today, some man named Alan. I said to them, I said, all you have to do, I said, instead of arguing back and forth like crazy, and like say like using somebody like me to explain to you what property tax is, if you believe that Indiana or wherever you live is saying that you owe property taxes, why don't you just ask them to define what's property and what's a tax and what is property taxes and how am I expressly written into that, you know, code? Show me. Just ask them a simple question.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know, because what you're doing is you're putting on a big boy hat, and you're putting on I'm the genius hat, and there's something that says I have to pay property taxes. Like to me, that sounds ridiculous. When I say to people taxes, it's like you're saying I don't own something, and you believe that you're letting me borrow it, like you're letting me lease it or rent it. Is that what you believe a tax is? Okay. And then property. My definition of property means it's exclusive to me and nobody else within a society could make a claim for it. So my belief in what property and what taxes means, obviously it's not what you believe property and taxes means. Can you please define the word property and taxes? So that's what I do to them. I started off with a nice little simple letter.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob. Greetings. I hear you're the tax assessor. Can you tell me what the word property and what the word taxes is? And then you can tell me what the word property tax means, or the phrase property tax. And can you show me where I'm expressly to some sort of code between you and I that I owe you a debt to some sort of this thing called property or tax?
Yeah.
Well, it's really you mess with their head. That's all I'm doing. I'm just being an asshole. That's all I'm being. Because they're like, why can't you just make it easy on us? See, this is what I used to do to school teachers since I was a little kid. So all the teachers loved to hate me because I always challenged them. I always made their day interesting. Everybody else was just a little melonhead, and they just want to get the A+, and they'd want to get the gold star, and they'd want to get the smiley face, and they want the lollipop. And I'd be like, hey, shove your lollipop, but the sun don't shine. I don't want to know what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want you to leave me alone. Look, I'm being forced on that bus, and I'm being forced to sit here, and I'm being forced to take your crap. You're getting paid. Now, when I'm paid, then maybe I'll listen to you. But right now, you're forcing this on me, and I don't want to be here. So you know what? I'm not going to make your life easy. You're not making my life easy. You want to make my life easy? Let me go to hell home.
Yeah.
Has anybody else seen a Karl Lentz cartoon with him at like 10 years old going to school? God, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, because I live in New York, and I had emailed you about it, and you used to like find out the price of the land by itself without the sweat equity, and I was like, okay, so I went to the I got to go Sunday to the Bureau of Land and all of that because the county clerk don't have it on record. Like they have a picture of it, but I can't print it for myself. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, what I say to people is try to find a relatively close vacant lot and ask them what's the value of that lot. Why, you know, why do you believe that if I put a mansion on this thing or a teepee on there, why do you believe that you could, for the equity that I put into this on top of this land, why do you believe that you could make a claim from what I sweated to produce? What makes you believe that you could get something from me? Well, like Barack Obama will say, well, you didn't earn it on your own. You didn't build that on your own. You didn't produce that on your own. It's like, oh, yes, I did. Because before, obviously, it was a vacant lot. Or maybe there's a teepee on it. But other than that, I did it. It's like, oh, no, we all helped you. It's like, okay, dude, you know, you need to back off. Yes, okay, technically, somebody built the roads. Technically, somebody discovered America. Technically, you know, somebody knocked down these trees. Technically, you're right. But you know what? Everything else has been on me. You know, if I wasn't here, that wouldn't be here. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make 1 + 1 + 1. You know, no, it's not A + B + C. It isn't all equal. A = B = no, it's not. You know, yes, thank you that somebody came. It's like, so you're saying, so since Columbus came over here, the Indians came over here, you're saying that without them, I wouldn't exist. Okay, that might be true. You know what? But you know what? How does the county believe that they could claim the sweat equity in that building? And they'll say, well, we gave you an education, we built roads for you, we put gas stations up for you. It's like, look, we didn't do anything. Another man did it, and he was compensated.
Or they'll say that it's crown land or something like that, Karl.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's like, say they built the roads. It's like, look, let me tell you what. The guy who was the architect and created that road, he's already got compensated, and he's dead. He's fine. Nobody, I don't know. Anybody who built that road wasn't a slave. Anybody who built that road got compensated, got paid for his time and his effort and his energy, and there is no more debt that he could claim that I owe to him.
That's right.
Basically.
So this is what the government tries to say. Well, without people who came before you, you couldn't have built that house on that land because there was no roads, no electric supply, no water supply, no sewage. It's like, look, dude, like I said, an Obama kind of guy. Look, everybody who did their part to make this part happen, they've already all been compensated. They can no longer lay a claim to it. It's just like if I build a fancy car and I sell it to you for 10, 20 grand, I can't lay any more claim in that. Yes, it's true. Without me doing that, you wouldn't have had such a beautiful car, but I can no longer claim it because you paid me off. You gave me compensation. I was like, you know what Precipe is? I know what Precipe is. Do you think this clerk, who's like 18-year-old clerk girl, you think she knows what a Precipe is? I said, look, she's got like a box for motions. She's got a box for orders. She got a box for proposed orders. But she's like, sir, I don't know what to do with this Precipe. She was telling you the truth. She has no freaking clue. I said, so if you want to operate in their world, you got to speak their language. You can't outthink them because Precipe, like say, is an older word. It's just a fancier word. I said, but why don't you just say you want to propose an order or you want to place an order before the court? Why do you have to go and talk all fancy? You know, keep it simple.
That's what Precipe means? Awesome.
It's like an order, right? But like I said to them, I said, why do you have to talk all uppity? Like you think you know something. Why can't you just tone it down so everybody knows what it's, even a 16-year-old, 18-year-old clerk there, she'll know what you're saying. Everybody understand. Really simple. 1 syllable, 2 syllable words. You're using a 3 syllable word, back down. Get it back down to 2 syllables. You're overthinking it. You're outguessing it. Just calm it down. You know, just relax a little bit. I said, when you try to use this old English, fancy English stuff that you read from like whatever 1502, you know what? You're overdoing it. You know, you're not impressing anybody. You know, obviously, and honestly, you're probably really pissing them off.
And we were guilty of that for a while, weren't we, Karl?
Oh, don't include me in we. There's no me in
the wife.
There's no me in we because, like I said, see, because Precipe, I'm trying to think of another way. It's like a demur, like Precipe. It's just like saying you're basically just saying that you want the guy who did you wrong to appear and show why an act or thing should not be done against him, like why he should not go to jail, or why should he not have to pay this, or why he shouldn't have to do it. And it just tells the clerk of the court to issue an order, and specifically tell him to appear and answer why something should or should not be done to him. I said, why don't you just give him a notice? Just say, look, dude, you stepped on my toes. This is the bill. See Exhibit A, the hospital bill. Here's the automated statement of the bill. See Exhibit B. And I want compensation of this much money. See Exhibit C. Why can't you just do that? Say A, B, C. I'm done. Give him a notice.
Right.
Why you got to do a Precipe? You know, so that's just a way. It's a fancy way of like summoning a defendant to tell him why you should or should not do something to him, or why he should have to compensate. I said, dude, and I know what it means, but can you just back off a little bit on these people? So it's so funny. The guy Brad, who was in jail, he's seen how I explained it to the guy, and I know the video, so I started laughing. I said, yeah, that was a classic. Well, see, but you guys didn't get the joke. If you guys listened to the show last week, he says, oh, I love the way you said, well, when a clerk has a Precipe box, then you let me know. But until then, can you just say, I'd like to place a notice with the court, and I'd like you to summons the defendant to appear and explain why he should or should not have to appear. Let him demur, let him answer, let him do what he wishes to do. Why do you got to outguess this stuff?
Yeah,
I said, because judges don't have to be lawyers.
Karl, don't clerks have Precipe boxes in Virginia?
Oh, yeah, they got Precipe Day here. Yeah, that's what we do
I thought.
Here. Yeah, we meet up about a week or two before the actual trial, and it's a preliminary hearing, and it's called the Precipe Day. All we do is we sit in the judge's chambers. He wanted me to give him some sort of answer that he's used to hearing one of these other gurus giving him.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, look, I'm not going with you because no judge would be crazy enough. No judge would be crazy enough to stand there and argue because I put everything in writing. I said, where did I learn that from? I said, I learned it from, if you, I don't remember off the top of my head, but there was about 80, maybe 90 people that signed the order, the writ to execute the king, in England. So the only one who actually put up an answer before the court was an attorney. All the other ministers, like you'd say prime ministers over there in England, all the other ministers just started answering willy-nilly why they decided to kill the king. So I said, I learned that from the trial of the regicides. The only one who put a proper answer before the court was an attorney. Out of all the ministers, there just happened to be one of the ministers also just happened to be an attorney. Like now, all our congressmen and senators, they're all attorneys. Mm-hmm. But back then, one of the ministers actually was an attorney. So obviously, the king's son, when he came back into power after Cromwell died, obviously he was going to get revenge on all these guys who signed a writ to kill his daddy, to chop his daddy's head off. So obviously he didn't want to hear shit from nobody. Everybody was going to freaking die. But at least the only one who actually gave a proper answer to the court said, when they were still on the tribunal, started to question him, he said, may I have leave of court? And they said, what for? I said, because I require the use of pen and paper so I could properly answer the court. And it's like, that's it. That's what I try to tell people all the time. That's what you got to do in arraignment.
Now, would you say legal court or lawful court, Karl?
Everybody was going to be drawn and quartered. Everybody was going to, the trial of the regicide, everybody was going to be killed. Nobody was going to get away. You killed the king's daddy, believe me, everybody's going to die. But at least that guy tried to put up a legitimate defense.
Okay.
By saying, because anybody else who tried to, obviously the king was behind like the tribunal saying, shut that guy up and kill him, shut that guy up and quarter him, shut that guy up. The only one that was able to actually put up a legitimate defense just happened to be a minister who was an attorney at the time. And he said, I require, see, he knew what the magic word was. I require leave of court. And he required leave of court. Thank you. He required leave of, oh, my sister handed me something. I require leave of court. And they said, what do you require leave of? Like to go to the bathroom, go potty, what do you require leave of? He says, I require leave of court. Why? He says, because I haven't been able to properly answer the court because I haven't been afforded pen and paper.
Okay.
I can't answer the court.
I misheard you. Sorry about that, Karl.
I don't have pen and paper. And this poor guy, Dallas in California, he was going on like a broken freaking record. He says, no, the judge is only going to say this. The judge is only going to say this. I said, dude, the only thing I'm going to say is this. I require leave of court. And when I require leave of court, I'm letting the court know I require it. And only a man can make a requirement because the government can't require us to do anything. Only a man can make a requirement. A requirement means by authority, I'm doing this, and by right.
Exactly.
Now, the government has the authority that you grant them, but they have no rights because you can't grant rights. You could grant authority, but you can't grant rights. Rights are inherent. They're within that thing. So you can't grant rights. So when you say, I require leave of court, they realize, okay, this is a man, this is God talking now. And God is saying he requires to get the fuck out of here for a little while. And honestly, I'm going to fucking explain it to you. I just require leave of court. But they'll usually ask, how long do you require the leave to be? And like they did with that guy, Brian, the other guy said, I need 30 days. I need a 30-day stay, or I need a 30-day, the lawyers will say, I request a 30-day stay. See, they'll request a 30-day stay. I'll require leave of court. See, they'll request a stay. I'll require a leave. You said you were charged with failing to file, right? It's because you people want to put on a big boy freaking fucking hat. And you want to believe that you know what the word file means. What does the word file mean? Why didn't you just ask the IRS? Because this is, like I said, this is how a judge taught me years ago how to get out of every single code problem, every single statutory problem. Just say that word that they're trying to charge you that you've done it's not concise. It could be interpreted in more than one way. It is ambiguous. So what does the word file mean? You failed to file. So what does that mean? Oh, you guys think it means about picking up a piece of paper and putting a pen to it. How is putting a pen to a piece of paper filing something? I don't know. I thought it was writing something. I failed to write? Wait a second. When I mail it off to the IRS, I thought somebody at that end filed it. I thought all I did was write it, put a stamp on it, and sent it off to you. You mean I failed to send a document off to you? No, you failed to file. Wait a second. I thought you had clerks at that building after I sent the paperwork to. I thought they would file it. You wanted me to come down to the building and file it? I said, because you guys aren't willing to be assholes like me, because a guy like me be called an asshole. He's like, well, you don't got to be an asshole about it. You know what we meant. Well, look, dude, if I know what you mean, you're going to put me in a cage for 15 to 20 years, right? Well, yes. I'm not going to make your job easy. You tell me what fail to file means. Fail to file. Is that even a complete sentence? You fail to file. Fail to file what? My nails? Fail to file the nail heads off my deck on my boat? What did I fail to file? Well, a tax return. Okay, wait a second. Are you telling me I was supposed to physically go to the IRS building, open up a cabinet, and file something? So if it could be considered ambiguous, and everybody knows the show, man, see, because people listen to this show aren't people who are watching Dancing with the Stars or something like that, because these people are sharp who listen to shows like this, because it's almost impossible to find this show on a radio, on the internet.
Oh, man, you can't find this. They wouldn't put this mainstream. Geez, you shut down the industry.
That's what I'm saying. It's so like the people who are listening to this, they know where I'm going with this. If a law or statute could be ambiguous, if there's more than one way to interpret the law, that statute does not stand as true.
Right.
It's ambiguous. It has to be in plain, simple language that every common man would know. Now, when you tell me you fail to file what? And I'm not going to make it easy on you.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like I said to this guy in Indiana, I said, I don't remember one person ever in my life ever coming up to me and saying, you know what, an IRS agent knocked on my door one day and they told me to file. Really? Who told you to file? Maybe your mom did, or your daddy did, or your brother or your sister did, but I don't remember anybody ever from the government, any government, coming to my house, knocking on the door and say, hey, remember to file. Remember to file fucking what?
That's right.
Remember to file. So why did you think you're going to put on a big boy pants? Oh, because your mommy or your daddy or your friends or somebody at work told you to file. File what? You want me to file something? You want me to open up a drawer and you want me to stick a piece of paper in a folder somewhere? Is that what you want me to do? It was like, no, I want you to take a piece of paper and pen and write something. Oh, so you want me to write a confession out for you? You want me to turn state's witness on myself? You want me to write a confession? Is that what you wish of me? I don't want to confess anything. I don't want to turn state's witness on myself. Is there some reason why I have to turn state's witness on myself? Are you telling me, Bob, I have to do this? And Bob will say, oh, fuck no, I'm not telling you to do anything. Well, go ahead, Bob. Just order me, Bob. So I can send you a bill for compensation. Order me to pay $10,000 to the IRS, Bob, and I'm going to hand you a bill for $20,000. I'll give you $10,000 to hand over to your boss, the IRS, Bob, and now I'm going to hand you a bill, Bob, for $20,000 for making me file. because I think my time was worth $20,000. Believe me, if I was Bill Gates or Donald Trump and you wasted an hour of his time, he's going to give you a bill for $20,000.
Has he ever?
They're billionaires. You ain't gonna get an hour of their life cheap. What makes you think my life is worth any less than Donald Trump's hour of his life?
That's the only commodity in the world, isn't it? It's time.
Yeah, time. Something that can't be restored, reshelved, restocked. Once it's been spent, it can't be fucking restored. You can't restore it. So, like I said, I did a whole show on why you don't say something is what was the type of damage that you guys always say that's ridiculous that you can't say? Not irrefutable. It's something like irreplaceable. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the word for damages. It's
harm, loss,
it's an adjective that everybody puts before the word damages, man. Like irrefutable.
Irreparable. Yeah, there you go.
That means it can't be repaired. And I actually did that in a seminar thing. I drew the picture of the United States. I said, here we are in Indiana, right? I said, a volcano fucking pops up in the middle of a cornfield and wipes out the whole state. This is irreparable damages. It cannot be repaired no matter how much money you throw at it. It can't be fixed.
Yeah.
So throwing money at something that's irreparable would be would be a waste of time and be futile. So obviously you don't want to say it's irreparable because it can't be compensated with money then. So obviously when you're making a claim for damages, obviously you just want to say, damages. You don't want to say irreparable damages.
Wow, could that ever nail you right
Otherwise,
there? Just using that one simple word.
Yeah, you're taking the money out of the court saying, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
you don't want any money.
Wow.
Because it can't be repaired.
And we're not taught to use that word correctly at all, are we?
Nope, because irreparable means something that cannot be repaired.
That's right.
So
another golden nugget.
Yeah, so that's what I tell people. I said, stop with all these fancy irreparable. What, 4 syllables? Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, I've been done wrong. I want compensation,
Right.
Pay me. It sounds like gibberish. I've been wrong. I want compensation. Pay me. That's it. They understand it. They're like,
and stick to your claim. Never settle.
Yeah. That's it. It's simple, short and sweet.
Yeah.
I want compensation. I've been wrong. I've been damaged. I was wrong. I want compensation. I'm done. Right. That's all you got to do. I said, this stuff ain't rocket science, what I do. It's too simple. When I ask you that you got to pay a debt, the state says that they compensated you, for somebody for welfare, child support, whatever it was. You tell them that this is the best you could do. You're moving under the best effort. You're acting in good faith. This is your best effort. This is what I can do, and do it. And then when you can't do it, I said, like I said to him, I said, you fill out, you give them $30 a month. I said, honestly, you're not going to give them $30 a month. And the guys were like, what do you mean we're not? They said, but I thought you said give them $30. I said, no, you're going to give them $30.07, or you're going to give them $31.16, or you're going to give them $35.12. Because what you're doing is you're showing them that that's your best effort. You're making your best effort. Now, if it's $30, honestly, you know what? You're probably holding back some. You probably could find an extra penny or two laying around. Show them your best effort. Show them that you're doing the best you can. Go that extra inch. It's like what I do. It's like, look, man, I had freaking surgery, man. And I show people what I look like. And 3 hours later, I was walking out of that freaking hospital. I'm going that extra inch. I'm going that extra mile. I got shit to do with my life. And it ain't sitting on my back in a hospital bitching about how bad I'm hurting. I'm going that extra mile. I'm doing it. And so I don't know how it's going to take to stop me, man, but I'm doing it. And that's what I said. That's when my dad died in Hurricane Sandy last year. And they said that he went out there to save his boat. He loved his boat. He went around the world with it a couple of times. He loved his boat. He took it out to the ocean. He survived the hurricane. But the exhaustion of beating the hurricane killed him. He didn't die the day of the hurricane. He died a couple of days after from exhaustion. So when they found the boat, they found his carcass. They weren't sure when he died because he was so fucking bloated. But they figured he died from exhaustion because obviously the boat and him were in one piece. They didn't get destroyed in the hurricane. So obviously he must have sailed through the hurricane. So it's going, that's what I'm saying. You go that extra inch, you go that extra mile, you show them that this is your best effort. Not only did you do $30, you did $30.01. You did $30.02. I said, because some month when you can't come up with that $30, so you only got $13, They will accept that $13.07 because you're going to say, please forgive me. The best I could do this month with $13.07. I've always done my best effort. I've always done the best I could. It clearly indicates to my past payments that I do the best I can do. But please forgive me at this time because the best I could do this month is $13.07. And they will forgive you. Let me give you a little bit of advice. Anytime anybody comes up to you, and like you said, they said they asked you what was that thing on your property, or what was, the first thing you say to them is you say, like, obviously you say to them, hello, like, what's your name? And you make sure you get their name. And then two, you say to them, wait a second, did you just ask me what was on my property?
Yeah, I suppose that's an obvious question.
That's a great question. You're right. So right there, he just admitted that it was yours and exclusive to all others within a society's control or enjoyment. So right there, he already admitted that it was on your property. So you're saying it's on my property? Yes. Say, well, then honestly, it's none of your damn business. If you just admitted it's my property, you can't make any claim for it. If you harm a man by breaking his bones or drawing his blood, you injure a man's property by, like, running over his mailbox, and then he can incur a financial loss because of breach of contract because you lied to him.
Okay.
So there you go. That's the three ways that you can move a common law court. Those are three things that are recognized throughout the galaxy, let's put it that way, as wrong. Breaking somebody's bone, drawing blood, that's harm. Injuries, the man said that, hey, that's my mailbox. You just ran it over. That's injury to property. And then incurred financial loss because you lied to me. So no matter where you are in a galaxy, believe me, those three things will hold true, no matter where you go. So I don't have to say in common law, no matter where you go, it's going to be true.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there. That's the end of that segment, but there's more to go. It's a rather lengthy series. And I think it's all good information, right? As you notice, whether in the algorithm or not, doesn't appeal to the majority, as are most things that are truly powerful and valuable. Legal, lawful, spiritual faith, conscious and awareness, true understanding, values and principles, doesn't appeal to the majority. They have other better, more important, interesting things to do or to be a part of. But of course, we know here there is, to some degree, a quantified segment, a minority, I guess you could say, of folks who are seeking truth, empowerment, inspiration, co-creational understanding, and that is the audience, I would say, that I appeal to the most, if any. So this is a good sort of exercise, if nothing else. This is a good simulation, revelation. This is good information as far as I'm concerned. And ultimately, I guess, as a content creator or a restreamer or share of information or experience, that's all that matters. So that I believe that it's important and valuable. And more importantly, I've seen the importance and the value and the empowerment that one is able to experience with this understanding, information, application. And of course, court hearing Thursday, and then we're going to decide if we're going to trial or not. And by we, I mean the other side, because we're on the quote unquote offensive at this point. We're the ones making the claim. Thank you, Mr. Alan Vance. He says, hey, Paul, keep her lit with all the truth. Hope and pray your health to be healing soon. Much love, much love. He said it twice, so you know it's real. And Andy the other day contributed as well. So thank you, gentlemen. You are blessings to I. Much appreciated. Back tomorrow, somewhere between 12 and 5 MDT. And from the Angry Gorilla files, I guess you could say, Paul Unamused on the way out. Okay, bye. The cavalier, glib coward at his core tries to present false strength and masquerade. And let him know I said that. You can go clip this out, all you people who want to play the middle. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. Be the emissaries for the back and forth, because if you didn't, these motherfuckers would watch it and listen and turn it off and act like it never happened. So go run this package, special delivery over to these motherfuckers tomorrow or in the meantime, and let them know I said so. Exactly what the fuck I think. And if you want me to come on your broadcast, I'm sure you don't. If you want me to come on your broadcast and say it nice, kind, and polite for your audience, I will, and it's not going to change the truth.
Oh, well, all I have to do is hand him a stack of papers and tell him about a yellow fringed flag, and he's going to let me go. That's not reality.
We're going to reward this fucking punk-ass coward clown who's going to inform on everybody and not walk the walk and try to detract from those who are. And we're going to destroy Paulie Boy if we can get it done. He's a sob-sit terrorist. He's got no credibility, even though he's got results over and over again when the shit hits the fan while they're hiding under their mama's skirt. But I just give them their money. Oh, no one ever thought of that before. You fucking weak ass. No wonder you won't come over here. No wonder you won't interact with me. No wonder Brian's hiding from me right now. He's going to pretend that he just forgot about me to text me back. Government is absolutely necessary to test and challenge you bitch ass motherfuckers on who you are, what you're claiming and crying about, and what you're not. And it's working perfectly. I say give us more, and it doesn't matter what I say. I know more's coming because it has to. This is a historical loop, light age, dark age cycle. You can't run from self and the truth that's revealed to self. You can't override it either. And it eats you up inside. So while you play these games and grift like there's no tomorrow, you know in the back of your mind it's all coming to a head. Right? All coming to a concrescence point. Right? So just keep up your fucking devilish games, get all you can now, and hope that it doesn't come down on you. That's all this is. If you were to take the ideology that was put forth in the certain documentations and the quotes that we get from the founders, and you were to make a man out of them in pure form, I would be the closest thing to something like that. And I can tell you from looking through the eyes of that being and how we live, you guys want to keep acting like you're in the same camp as the founders, right? Regardless of the skeletons they have, for what they did and what they put on record and what they created that you're living and reaping the benefits and fruits from. Those motherfuckers, just like the Christed being in scripture, would not even set eyes on you twice. When they see you and listen to you and know who and what you are by judging your heart and your deed. You fucking punk ass bitch. If I have to go to fucking prison right now, I will not like it, but I will sit right there and know I'd rather fucking be in the box for doing what's true, what's right, than be outside in this place with you, laughing and giggling in everybody's face like there's something funny. Make me sick. You're another corrupter and co-opter. I smell agent. Another corrupter, co-opter. You know, people call me a sovereign citizen. No, they don't. What? Who? The ones who are completely duped out? Completely? Because you like to ride the middle, right? Like, I say I'm for rights, freedom, and principle, but I just comply, pay them, do what they say, right? But they call me they call me that. Because I won't fucking comply. Because when they fucking stopped me, I had a trunk full of trouble, ask them, and I didn't give a fuck what they thought about it. Because I don't need to. They ain't my judge. Stop telling my story and doing it horribly. They call me victiming again. You should hope these status motherfuckers call you a sob-sitting a terrorist. That's the same thing they said about Jesus, bitch-ass motherfucker. Till 200, 300, 2,000 years later, when someone got the bright idea that maybe that being was right. Yeah. They call me a sovereign citizen. No, they don't. Co-opter, corrupter, agent, scum. You don't do nothing like that gets you called that. They call me that because I do. And I'm proud of it. Good. The statist, corporatist, fascist scum call me a sob-sit terrorist because I'm willing to ride on God, rights, guns, and freedom. Suck my dick. How about that? Sorry, I got a little bit ghetto there at the end. That's not palatable. That's not nice, kind, and polite. We're evangelical Trump voters in the swing states. We're about family values. Paulie Boy just cussed.
Yeah, and I want to say a lot of there's people who say that I'm a sovereign citizen because I believe in certain rights that they don't. But here's the thing: I believe that a lot of the things that the government does is wrong. But I still don't lie. Like you said, it's all about generating money. It's all about money.
What?
I don't argue. I just give them their money.
You go through any one of these places, it's a bald jerk off like this who's been completely fucking sodomized and assimilated with 3 fucking gamer screens and a trimmed up beard and the shaved head and all the rest of it. Inauthentic corporate male. He's a victim because someone somewhere on the internet called him a sovereign citizen for complying. Fucking clown. Make sure you get online tomorrow and act like nobody sent you the clips of me doing this fucking 2-hour rant on both you bitch-ass motherfuckers. Act like it didn't fucking happen. If you had any fucking balls, you'd pull it up like I do and give your audience access to it, and then you can make me look like the nasty motherfucker I am, right? If you go back to the founders, they would have wrote down that it was self-evident, these things, that now you can't even get these folks to see or cognize. As if that's not proof of the dynamic. What used to be obvious and inherently self-evident is now difficult for these fluoride heads to even comprehend of, let alone live and actualize. I'm just asking you, why do you have these cucked out beta males who smirk and smile at the camera while they say we should all comply and we should just record and document the downfall of humanity? Giggle about it. It's funny. The destruction of everything good and great and innocent, right? The plunging of the women and children, including yourself, because you are a bitch, into slavery and genocide. It's fucking funny, ain't it? You fucking coward. Instead of you just getting on there humbly with reverence before God and the people and saying, I'm a fucking punk-ass coward. I know I need to do more. You sit and laugh and giggle and act like you occupy some superior position because you're going to document the downfall and giggle at it. And what is your answer? Well, if we stand for ourselves and stop accepting less, we might get a beating. Yeah, that's called being a man. That's how life works. You don't even want to show up for yourself and others, let alone have to take a fucking beating, let alone have to give one out.
People are disgusting. Stupid pieces of shit. These people are disgusting.
Yo, you claim you know the law, selling freedom for a fee. Pockets lined with promises that never set you free. Touchdown position, head low, comply. But truth don't live where falsehoods lie. A trifold solution for a problem you make. Teaching how to bow while the real ones don't break. What you sell ain't freedom, just a cage you choose. Making you a better pawn in a game you'll lose. Lost scholar, what's the price of your word? Speaking in circles, yo, your truth is blurred. No roots, no honor, no ground to stand on. Your paper throne crumbles in the palm of your hand. Delete the laws, yo. Put the laws in the land, or not in codes or controls that you can't understand. Teaching folks how to bow, yeah, making good hoes. But every pimp knows how the same game goes. Chant PLQI, you think vengeance will save, but you dishonor the truth, and you dig your own grave. The trifold shield won't cover the fool. Nah, you fools who sell hate just keep feeding the fuel. Lost scholar, what's the price of your word? Speaking in circles, yo, your truth is blurred. No roots, no honor, no ground to stand. Your paper throne crumbles in the palm of your hand. The wise don't kneel, they don't break or bend. Yeah, they walk in the truth where your lies don't stand. No scripts in their pocket, no pose to assume. Yo, your words are a joke, delete flaws and read the room. What's freedom to a man that peddles a scam? Who speaks no truth and hides behind another man? The scholar's just a shadow, yeah, ghost in disguise. Or those who walk steady, yo, see through the lies. The truth don't fold, nah, it don't fit in the trifold. It's carried in the heart, not in stories retold. Yo, you teach the pose, but you're lost in the fight, claiming you know, but you're just trapped in the night. Yo, you say do this, do that, and you'll be free, but you're just getting pimped, yeah, you just don't see. Codes can't bind the ones who won't play. The risk loses power when the truth finds its way. Lost scholar, what's the price of your word? Speaking in circles, yo, your truth is absurd. No roots, no honor, no ground to stand. Your paper throne crumbles in the palm of your hand. Yo, so fold your trifold, take your seat. The game you're playing is a game of defeat. The law stands strong where you can't pretend. What's built on lies will only break in the end. No touchdown poses, no gimmicks to sell. Yeah, the ones who know the walk steady and well. Lost scholar, you know your lesson's undone. You're just a pile of wet rags drying out in the sun.
people are disgusting.
Disgusting.